spending money and we're just going to get this from somewhere. I've actually allocated these funds by cutting out these programs. That's crazy. It's a form of reparation. All of this is a form of
Take
reparation.
another shot, y'all. He's once again not answering the question. What is wrong with you? Tech MMA says, boyfriend? Yes, my boyfriend. Yes, my boyfriend. I have a boyfriend. And it's even weirder than you think. It's a VR relationship.
So this is kind of hard to watch because he was more obnoxious than usual. And also, too, Martae, by the way, donate to Martae because Martae needs a new fucking mic. Him having Martae's mic has been acting up, and that's been definitely like hurting him because it allows for his opponent to kind of shout over him because his mic will go quiet, and so you can't really hear what Martae's saying, and it allows people like 1stAmender to kind of just like shout over him. So Martae has actually been by default just doing handicap matches because he's been going against his microphone and his opponent, which means technically his debate against Wick the other night was a 3-on-1.
That means you're in favor. In order for you to continue this debate, you need to agree that black people need to pay white people for reparations. Do you agree with that?
I literally just said that, but you didn't listen to a damn thing I said, 1stAmender. But anyways, let me go ahead and dumb it down for you. Yes, black people should pay white people reparations. Now, what you're talking about is some historical issue that's happened. Now, we've since been divorced from our grandfathers and our grandfathers who suffered through slavery and all of this. And you would say this would even be field incarceration through some mercenary systemic issue that's happened, right? Granted, every single race has been put through slavery and some systemic issue. Now, there are no whites alive that have ever owned slaves in America and currently own slaves or were never alive to even stop this. So, yes, I'm for the four, but I'm just saying, as a premise for foundational start, nobody should. That's my ultimate belief system. But since this debate is for, yes, I am for black people paying white people reparations. Now we can continue, 1stAmender.
Can you define reparations in policy terms? What specific policy are you referring to where black people have to give white people reparations? I'm sorry,
So,
white people. Yeah, yeah.
oh gosh,
Yeah, go ahead.
can you kind of like stop tongue tripping over yourself? Okay, back to this. I pointed out incarcerations and corrections, meaning like the 37 to 38% prison population. Not to mention this, but $80 billion in black shares, violent criminal arrests, right? We're talking about 20 to 30%. And then not to mention this, but every time black people get pissed, they burn shit down. This is unequivocally something that happens underneath a liberal, I would say not only this, but a liberal presidency. This happens. But now that we have Trump in office, that has decreased a lot. Now, what's happening right now is we have a lot of white liberal women that are caping for black people right now. That's happening, and I think that should stop. That costs taxpayers thousands of dollars because government funding has to come in, and what they're using is they're using blacks as a scapegoat right now. And blacks are trying to co-sign this, but they can't even do this because they're not going to say white lives matter. Black people will never say this. It's never happened. Immigrants are never going to say this. So white people who are white liberal women are literally dying in the streets for black people who are never going to say that white lives matter. That costs taxpayers thousands of dollars in excess resources from government officials who have to come in and be hampered through arrests, who have to go ahead and not only this, but stop PDF aisles from committing more crimes, which that's literally what this is. I know I'm going over a few topics right now, but also property devaluation happens all the time. It's something historically you can't even admit to. Blacks move in, property value goes down. Graffiti goes up, crime goes up. Mom and pop stores get robbed to the degree where they have to close up and close down shop because all of a sudden black people like to steal all the time. Why did the Asian or white person follow me around the store? Because stereotypes are mostly true. I cost their business thousands of dollars, not me specifically, but black communities do this. They don't give back. To be honest with you, I'm just being honest. The numbers prove this, and systemically, we can also demonstrate this as well too.
All right. I'm going to ask the question again because you did not answer the question, not even a little bit.
That was a
Can
lot.
you define what reparations in policy terms? Don't spout off a bunch of things saying incarcerations and corrections, 38% of prison population, violent criminal arrests. Every time black people get pissed, they burn shit down. This happens under liberal presidency. This is decreased because of Trump. Graffiti, mom pop stores get robbed. None of that is a
Hey,
policy term in terms of reparations. So I'm asking you specifically, please define what reparations you mean in policy terms that Black people need to give to white people.
Okay, I can give a descriptor of this
Go
without
ahead.
putting a name or a label on this. So, as I mentioned in I would say my preface to the debate, the DEI spending, I mentioned that there's a $68 to $69 million a year in DEI that costs the system a lot of money. This is through accidents, injury claims, all this other stuff. There will be a reduction. And not to mention this will go right back in the taxpayer's pocket as well, too, because we're hiring merit-based systems. We're actually costing more money because of feelings-based, race-based merit systems because of this. That's where the money would come from. And I think that's what you're alluding to when we talk about this. Now, granted, I'm not going to put some fancy slogan or any label on this, but if you're talking about reparations, where the money would come from, this would go right back into the system. Affirmative action, that's also in.
So he's gonna start doing this in a little bit, Scott. But yeah, he does this thing where he brings out a bottle of vodka and he's like, "Oh, take a shot every time he doesn't answer the question, guys." And then he takes a swig of the vodka. But I don't think it was real vodka because the way that he was drinking it, either he has a really high tolerance for alcohol or that was water. And I'm pretty sure he was doing it for a bit.
Relation to DI as well too. And not to mention this, but EEOC enforcement, $435 million for discrimination enforcement. All of this, race-based claims right back in Americans' pockets, increasing GDP. And not only this, but evidentiary, I'm going to go on a little side tangent, but say whites are more responsible with all this budget cut compared to Black communities at large. It's a fact.
I'm just writing down what you're saying because you're going all over the place. You're not answering my question once again. Can you define reparations in policy terms, right? So when you say DI spending 68, 69% spending in DEI, cost systems a lot of money, there'll be a lot of reduction in DEI. Affirmative action, EOC enforcement, $435 million, race-based claims, evidentiary, side tangent, why are white people are more responsible for budget cut? None of that answers my question.
Yeah,
I'm
it
gonna
does.
ask you again, can you define reparations in policy terms? What specific policy would you enact for reparations? Specific.
Yeah, so I want to pull this up right here. So I Googled what are forms of reparations. Key forms of, let's see. Reparations are measures to redress gross human rights violations or historical injustices, encompassing more than just monetary compensation. So it says right here, encompassing more than just monetary compensation. According to international standards, key forms include restitution, compensation, rehabilitation, satisfaction, and guarantees of non-repetition, meaning, okay, guarantees we're not going to do this shit again. So compensation, direct monetary payments to individuals or groups for lost property, earnings, or opportunities. Restitution, efforts to restore victims to their original situation, such as returning land, property, or restoring citizenship rights. Rehabilitation, provision of medical, psychological, legal, and social services to survivors. Satisfaction, symbolic reparations, measures to acknowledge wrongdoing, including public apologies, truth seeking inquiries, and commemorations, e.g., statues, museums. Guarantees of non repetition, structural changes designed to prevent future abuses, such as constitutional reforms, human rights training, or policy changes. Systemic or collective measures such as scholarships, housing, or economic developing programs targeted at marginalized communities to address long term systemic disadvantages. Reparations can be implemented through legal settlements, governmental administrative programs, or community based initiatives. So, when he's talking about cutting DEI programs, that would, I believe, fall into structural changes designed to prevent future abuses. uh you know um or policy changes. So I believe it will fall under that category. So yes, like what Martae was saying, can fall into reparations.
People need to pay to white people. Go ahead.
Remember what I said? I'm not going to put a fancy slogan or title on this. We're talking about structured initiatives designed to acknowledge and redress and close the gap caused.
But see, First Amender just thinks it's giving money to whites. Like it would just be giving money to a group of people. That's not only what reparations are.
By a lot of the systemic issues that we currently have in society right now. State sanctioned injustices, like what's happening with DEI. Not only this, but what's happening with injury. Not to mention this, but lack of merit based programs, things like this. These are structured initiatives. That's the definition of what I'm talking about. These are designed to acknowledge and magnify these issues that are happening. That's what that is.
Light mode? What's wrong with light mode? What's wrong with light mode?
You're once again not answering my question. Can you define reparations in policy terms? You're the one arguing in favor of reparations for Black people to white people.
Direct material
What reparations in terms of policy would you apply? Stop rattling off gish gallop of a bunch of different points that don't have anything to do with one another. Answer the question. Can you define reparations in policy terms?
Hold on, 1stAmender. Matter of fact, not only am I supporting Black people should pay white people, but I'm telling you why. When I tell you the why, you want me to go through definitions? We all know
now one step back, Dave.
By reparations. What do you mean by reparations in policy terms? Are you okay?
Benefits.
This is a direct. I am directly asking you this question. Why can't you answer this simple question?
Direct material benefits.
Direct material. Okay. How so? How do you do the direct material benefits?
All of this is beyond cash, including apologies, education, scholarships, and things like that.
See, so Martae's telling him right there. That same definition that I read off, that's what Martae's looking up right now and reading off to him.
We don't have the I would say the national advancement of white people, right?
I'm not asking the national investment of white people. I'm asking,
are you listening to
what direct material benefits do Black Americans have to give to white Americans? How? What do you do?
I brought this up. Beyond cash, reparations can also include apologies, and not to mention this, but cutting DEI, cutting other programs that are race-based, cut up merit for the common layman, things like this.
Which again, that falls into reparations, making changes to the current institutions and policy, and to prevent this from happening again to white people, because it is discriminatory toward white people.
This is one way we can do this. And remember, when I brought this up, it saves the taxpayer thousands of hundreds of dollars from doing this. We're actually doing things. This is just a common sense approach. And what you're doing is avoiding this by saying, okay, we're just going to keep these incentives for Black people. For why? Because of their race? That's crazy. We're long gone from slavery and all these economic systems that you were saying was probably burdensome to the community, even redlining and all this. We're in 2026 right now. All you have is an emotional argument, bitching about a past that's long foregone right now. We're here right now. Set the slate clean and eliminate DEI programs and all these other things that are robbing our communities, and actually acknowledge the fact that Black communities are costing thousands of dollars to taxpayers, and put this in the pockets of other communities who are more responsible with this GDP and incentivize the community to actually start with a common sense approach. That's all I'm asking for.
You're still so. First of all, none of that is reparations. And so
it is
the direct material benefits.
It is. No, it is. And 1stAmender is an idiot. The thing is that not only is he's an idiot, but he's going to become so condescending in just a little bit, and so cringe, and just so irritating about it, that it just gets much worse.
I don't know what you mean by what direct material benefits. What are you referring to?
EBT is cash. Right?
Cutting EBT?
Did I say cutting EBT?
I'm asking you. Do you not understand? I don't understand what you're trying to say. Saying the word EBT doesn't mean anything. I'm saying, hey, you want to cut direct, you want direct material benefits Black people have to give to white people. Stop talking.
Yeah, see what sucks is that Martae's mic is going out, so it's allowing 1stAmender to talk over him.
You asked me.
You're asking direct material benefits. You're asking for what direct material benefits do you want to apply? Please define what you mean by reparations in policy terms. Go.
Literally telling you right now,
because you're just filibustering. Explain it.
You're doing it again. I'm on the route to
fucking idiot, dude. Let me know when he's done with his fucking idiotic nonsense.
Is this a micro rage quit right now? This is crazy. All right, as 1stAmender gets a sippy cup right now, I brought up the material benefits that we have right now and the reduction of all of this outsourcing and waste that we have. This is crazy. The cope.
Yeah, see, so that's his new bit. He's like, oh, he thinks he's being funny and shit, but it's just really cringe.
The cope is premium right now.
Fuck.
So, the losses.
Are you going to actually answer my question, or are you just going to make me drink more?
I'm talking about a reduction of program and waste that we have, senseless waste. That's what we would call the reparations, because we've been giving handouts to the Black community through government-based programs for eons, I would say at this point, what it feels like for just being Black. And to me, that this is crazy. I think we should incentivize a merit-based program again in society. It's just common sense. That's all I'm voting for, is common sense. I don't care about your emotional battle.
Take a shot, chat, every time that he does not answer the question.
He doesn't even have shot glasses. You don't even have shot glasses, First Amender? The hell? What's wrong with you? But yeah, it's just funny because he says, take a shot, chat. But it's like, who is he talking to? Like, no one's is on his side on Speakeasy's or Martae's chat. And he only had like, what, maybe like 10 people in his own chat. So it's like, who the hell are you talking to? And I'm pretty sure that some of the people on his own chat don't even like him.
Every time you don't like my question, I guess you're
Okay.
down.
So can you define reparations in policy terms? You started off good by saying direct material benefits, but what specifically? You can't just say direct material benefits. Give me an example. Give me policy wise. Yeah, cutting EBT is not reparations. That's not reparations. That's not what that is. That's not what that is. And also, FYI, cutting EBT, that affects the poor, not minorities.
The poor
what are you talking about?
By Black people.
So again, once again.
Yeah, but who? Yeah, but per capita, First Amender, per capita, what race uses EBT the most? Huh?
The overwhelming.
Why is like welfare queen like a racial like insult toward like Black women? Like, why is that?
Amount of people that are that accept that are poor is in fact white people in the USA by raw number, not by percentage, but definitely by raw number. So now I'm going to ask you once again, right?
I'll slow it down and try to see next time he takes a swig.
Can you define reparations in policy terms? You said specifically direct material benefits. So please go on. What direct material benefits would you apply in your policy term reparations? Go ahead.
I mean, Martae, like, if he wants to buy a temporary mic just for now until he could afford a better mic, like I said, the mic I have right now, it's only like 20 something bucks on Amazon. And my mic works fine. So if he wants to buy just a cheap mic for right now until he could afford a better one.
Can I talk real quick? Because you're still talking with your
That was a question. Answer the question.
You made a claim. I'm going to address that. Then I'll get to
What a fucking idiot. Take another shot, y'all. He ain't fucking answering the question. He's never going to answer the question. You know why? Because these morons aren't serious. They never were serious. Take a shot every time he doesn't answer the fucking question. Look at him crash out in the corner.
Crash out.
That's the way that we're going to have this.
But First Amender's the one that's crashing out. Like, Martae is actually trying to make arguments, and First Amender's like, take a shot. What an idiot. He's not answering the question. But Martae is answering the question, but First Amender's too stupid to know what reparations are. Because Martae isn't saying, okay, we'll pull in a policy where Black people pay $50 to a white person a month or some shit like that. First Amender thinks he's not answering the question, and he's not listening. If we were to actually listen and actually want to enter this conversation in good faith, instead of being a smug prick, he might actually learn something. What one of them should have done is had Speakeasy maybe bring up the definition of reparations.
Money come from? I don't think that we're going to outsource this money from some imaginary place. It has to come from somewhere. I would look at the net losses of GDP, and not only this systemically from these handouts that we give the Black community. And when you talk about poverty is a causation, is causal due to crime. Who commits crime? A lot of Black culture commits crime. And when I say Black culture, this is also bleeding over into white culture. I think that this is a net negative, costing the city thousands of dollars in our society, thousands of dollars, and setting us back into some form of slavery where we have to have immigrations come in, or immigrants come in and replace our population. That's what the Black community is literally doing right now. I think that if we can reset a standard that basically eliminates DEI and all these other programs, that would put money back into our pocket. Now, when you're talking about how EBT is not reparations, literally we're giving Black people handouts because they're making excuses. Where did this originate from? This was part and parcel from the Black community. Whites are adopting this because of liberal agendas basically coming in and trying to cater for Black people. That doesn't make any sense. All we need to do is revamp the culture and change culture and society to a merit-based program. That's all I'm arguing for. In reparations, this comes out of losses that we're making. Basically, because we're conceding to people because of their race and their skin color. That's ridiculous and stupid. It's just making excuses and handicapping the black person from succeeding in the future.
Maybe they're like confidence sunglasses, like it makes them feel cool and tough, so it makes them, ready to go into battle in these debates. Maybe that's what's going on here with those glasses.
You can't even address any of this that I brought up.
EBT is just simply a payment system like SNAP or WIC, for example. This is based on income, not on.
Did somebody say WIC?
On race. So cutting EBT would mean that you would want to get rid of wanting to feed the poor in what to stop.
That's freaking hilarious, Doomerang. Like when a kid puts his dad's shades on, yeah, it pretty much just exactly like that.
DEI or whatever. So again, none of this is policy. I need you to answer my question directly. Stop talking. I have four questions.
Stop talking. A strong, independent gay is talking, Martae. So you better sit down and listen.
We haven't even made it through the first. So I'm going to ask the same exact question again because you're once again not answering the question. Can you define reparations in policy terms? You started initially by saying direct material benefits. Great. Good start. Now, please explain, what do you mean? Define reparations in policy terms. Go ahead.
Okay, localized efforts increasingly can be common in the US if we actually put this money back in the taxpayers' pockets because of this loss of revenue through to all these incentivization for non-merit-based programs that we have that are also burdens on the system. When we think about this, successful implementation requires definitions, which I agree.
You want another fucking shot, guys, because he ain't fucking answering the question.
Okay, so I'm trying to see what that is.
Yeah.
Oh, Amos. Is it upside down? I don't know what it is. What is that? Do you guys know? I mean, yeah, it's vodka, but what's the brand? He always Amsterdam vodka. He always does this. He usually takes the moderator telling him to move on because he won't accept the answer. Cheap vodka. Oh, geez, I don't want to relive this crap. I don't blame you. Like I said, 1stAmender was especially like annoying on this one, like even more so than usual. And I didn't even think that was possible. I really didn't. I thought we've seen peak annoyance, but nah, he could get worse.
Fuck me, dude. Fuck me.
Beyond that sounds really gay, by the way. Because
I'm gonna be dead. I am going to be dead by the end of this debate because you are the king of Gish Gallop, the absolute. You could be. I think that you should be a basketball player. You know why? Your fucking pivots are through the fucking roof. I cannot tell where.
Yeah, so it's like he's been studying. He's like, oh, why do people like Andrew so much? Oh, well, he smokes and he drinks. All right. Okay, well, I'll start doing that too. And he's also an asshole sometimes. I'll be an asshole too.
Your arguments are going. You're going to mention one thing and then you're going to bring up the Trump presidency when we're talking about whether or not black people should pay white people reparations. So once again, I'm asking you, please answer my fucking question. Can you define reparations in policy terms? Go.
Racist coming from you. You're going to tell a black person he should
define your policy. Get another shot, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, fucking Martae Ruelas. Once again, he is questionless, not answering a single goddamn question. Go ahead.
all black people can do is play basketball and play sports. Yeah, white trope it again. That's so. Did you come here to be alcoholic or engage in me in a serious conversation about this?
No, I came to engage in a very serious conversation with you. So I'm asking you, since you seem to be in the for that black people should pay white people reparations, surely you could answer the simplest question of defining what you mean by reparations in policy terms. So you started by saying direct material benefits. Now you're saying local efforts in the USA, putting it into taxpayer pockets, incentivization of non-merit-based programs, more non-answers. Give me an actual answers. Define reparations in policy terms. Go.
All right, you're not even contending with the argument that I have
Yeah,
right
he's
now.
not.
You're trying to
He can't answer just answer the question. Fuck, take another shot, everybody. He ain't answering the fucking question.
Man, I feel bad for First Amender's boyfriend, his VR boyfriend. I feel bad for that guy. Is this what he has to deal with in a fight? Come on, First Amender, just calm down, please. No, you calm down, Todd. Is that what you're telling me to do? Calm down. Like, holy hell. This microphone thing's killing me. Yeah, exactly. So if you want to donate to Martae, I have his cash out. Let me because I donated to Martae. That's how bad this is. That's how much it sucks. Where's his name? Martae, if you're in the chat, feel free to advertise your cash app. We all want to help you out, brother. We can't let you go through this. We can't let you your microphone defeat you like this. This is not good. You could have easily shouted him down, but the microphone was just working against you.
This guy is not even serious, but I have a solution-oriented approach, which you don't even want to contend
Answer the fucking question.
When I bring this
Stop
up,
talking meta. That's what right wingers like
here,
to do.
one second. Let me see if I can like help bridge a little bit of a gap here. What I think I'm asking.
All right, so Martae, that's his cash app right here, guys. So if you want to donate to the Martae Microphone Fund, that way we can't let soy boy betas like First Amender here shout down at him like this. There you go. Poor Emmett. F me, dude. I spent way too much on an audio setup. I should have grit for it. Yeah, you should have. You always got a grit for it. Emmett, got a grift. Got to sing some more of that karaoke. By the way, Emmett, you weren't here the other day, but someone suggested, man. Oh, we were talking about the Super Bowl halftime, and someone's like, "Oh man, I would have loved it if we should have had Emmett sing the halftime." And I said, "Yeah, you know what? Emmett should have had a halftime forced karaoke special.
What I think
That would have been way better than Bad Bunny and Kid Rock."
Amender's asking here, from what I'm hearing, it's like he's asking us, or he's asking you, like, how much, by what authority? Because I think the first thing you said there was material.
No, what I'm asking is, I want him to define what reparations he wants in policy terms. Specifically, tell me what are black people going to do for white people? What is going to happen? Where are the reparations? EBT is FYI. Removing EBT is not a reparation. That's not what that is. It is a payment delivery system for SNAP and things like WIC.
So
okay, it's not.
Somebody say WIC.
You're asking him like who pays, who receives, what's the form of payment, what's the justification principle,
policy. Yes.
Yeah. So that's the breakdown. Okay. I was just trying to maybe
this
from
is
a
literally
listener
question
and
one
maybe
out
I
of 4
can bridge
questions
the
I've
gap.
written
So
down.
I think what
Dude, that would have been hilarious, MSM, if Martae would have said that. Yeah, they could pay us back by picking our crops, by picking our cotton, by being indentured servants, things of that nature. That would be hilarious.
Amender's asking is like, I think like the form of payment is a big part of what Amender's asking here and how that happens.
Yeah, the form of payment was what I was talking about. If we cut these waste in these government programs that we have that just cater to people just because of their skin color and because of their race, we're going to have this go back into the taxpayer's pocket. Yet when I bring this up, he doesn't want to contend with that and says, okay, well, where does the money come from when I just explained where the money's going to come from? What this does is it's a beautiful program, and it's not having blacks go out of their way to do something substantial that they already do. I'm just saying to operate on a common sense approach, eliminate these favorable programs that just cater to people just because of their race and skin color. And if we eliminate this, we'll literally put the money in losses back into taxpayers' pockets just because of this. We can go across the board. This would be eliminating programs such as DEI. This would be critical race theory bullshit classes that we have. And not to mention this, the education rates would skyrocket, putting education back into black communities' pockets so that way they can earn more money.
Take another drink, Chad. He ain't fucking answering the question again, but go ahead and keep going on your stupid filibuster.
Answers your question.
Yeah, it does. That's the thing. If he came in here in good faith and was willing to listen, he would know that it's answering his fucking question. Thank you very much, Kokomo, for the 20 Australian dollar dues. Thank you very much, brother. Hell yeah. Getting that super chat go nice and filled up. Thank you very much.
Back into their pocket.
Let me ask you this. What is a reparation? We have to start square fucking one because you have no idea what you're talking about. What is a reparation?
Okay, so reparation is paying back people through maybe probably harm and experience, some societal impact that's burdened a society or people from harm. And I would say like the Japanese have gotten this because of the fact that they've been enslaved at a certain period. And it's just, all this is just accommodations. You know what?
Help you out, right?
Setting the bar back.
Reparations, right, is an affirmative compensation for harm. Okay?
That's what I said.
Write that down. I need you to write that down.
I don't have to. I just elaborated on that.
Okay, you know what it is. Great. So bringing up cutting a program.
Yes.
That's not a reparation, is it?
That is
all you're doing is reducing spending or access. Those are totally separate categories. A reparation is, once again, is an affirmative compensation for harm, not reducing spending across the board.
Great.
Okay? So I'm going to ask you once again, you're not answering the fucking question. One more time. Can you define reparations in policy terms? And no, ending DEI practices is not that. And no, cutting EBT is not that. Please define, because you accurately defined what reparations are, and you know what reparations are. Okay, give me a policy of reparations that black people have to give to white people. Go in policy terms.
I'm going to address the first point you made, even though you answered a question. You're not going to go ahead and have you bite bullets that I'm not going to accept. Matter of fact, let's contend with this real quick. When you say that people are just spending money and we're just going to get this from somewhere, I've actually allocated these funds by cutting out these programs. That's crazy. It's a form of reparation. All of this is a form of reparation.
Take another shot, y'all. He's once again not answering the question. What is wrong with you?
That's a form of reparations.
What is wrong with you?
Because black people have been getting handouts for a long time. All this does is handicap the community from moving forward, keeping them in a slave state mind. That's all I'm saying. This is a very common sense approach. And the fact that you won't even accept this, you want people just to get handouts forever? No, I think we should have a merit-based system in America. And where we're talking about reparations, yes, white people are being harmed by this. How is DI not harming people? How is not race swapping harming people? How is not recruiting from other nations to replace ourselves with other blacks harming people? That changes our culture and traditions and everything else. Not to mention, this is beyond financial and monetary losses that we're talking about. This is cultural incentivization, loss of our religious beliefs and ideals and everything else. This is more than a financial loss that we're talking about. Reparations don't even have to be financial, 1stAmender. This could be the recoup of the values that we have as Americans. We don't have to lose on account of slavery that's been foregone. All we have to do is swipe the slate clean and say, blacks, because you cost us $3,000 during the riots and everything else, hey, guess what? We're not going to put up with this bullshit anymore. And we're going to eliminate all these race-based programs that incentivize the American taxpayer by having common sense approach. That's all I'm saying, 1stAmender.
So just to keep the definition tight for both sides, I think this is what's going on here, what we're missing. So like usually in policy terms, it usually means like a target.
Real quick, yeah. Speakeasy explained later that he was wearing his headband because something about his hair was getting longer, and so it was getting in his face. So that's why he's wearing the headband. And plus, he also thinks it looks cool. But the headband thing just makes it look like he's about to go work out. Like he has a little like the '80s of the workout with the cut off shirt and the the little the sweatbands and the ankles and that's what it reminds me of.
Targeted like a compensation transfer or a benefit, right? So like usually uh, some type of cut would be a policy preference rather than a reparation. So are you are you are you like are you saying that like you have using a different definition when it comes to reparations, or are you wanting to argue cuts instead?
Oh, that's a
I just want like a so you guys aren't talking, like, clarify whether you're redefining reparations or making a separate claim.
so I'll even clear this up real quick for you, Speakeasy, and I'll make this really plain to the audience as well too. The Black community has been getting handouts for a long time. This isn't through
Yeah, footloose or butt loose.
EBT. This is also through systemic
Oh, First
programs
Amender
that
thought
we
it was
have.
funny.
Not to mention this, but handouts, and also societally, we'll even redefine things like Black entertainment television. We had white entertainment television. It'd be racist. Whites are basically hamstrung all the time when it comes to educational programs like the NAACP. If white national advancement of white people happen, oh shit, we don't have scholarships for that, but blacks have scholarships and free government handouts because of their black skin color and complexion. These are our reparations, but redefined in a different way where we're giving handouts to blacks. So when black people say we should get reparations, you've been getting them the whole time. And this is through handouts because, oh shit, you're black. Okay, you're more likely to do this. We'll have a grant for you, but there's no grants for white people. There's no grants for anybody else that's Eastern European. There's only grants for people who are people of skin color and race. These are reparations. Where is this coming from? Taxpayer funded. We're even saying donors and everything like that. That's what I'm saying. That's my form of reparations that they've been getting in various forms. I'm only touching the iceberg on this too.
All right. I have a diagram that I would like to share if I could.
Oh yeah, this is where he gets really
Speakeasy,
racist.
can I do that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. And are you able to share that with everybody else? Does it
Yeah,
is it
I'll bring
showing?
it up.
You make it
I'll
nice
bring
and
it up.
big for everybody to see. So this right here is what is called a pivot in basketball. Okay, where you can avoid what is happening. You could hold on. I just want to. I don't even know why I'm showing this to him. He's an expert at this. He is God King of
Oh, because I'm
pivoting.
black.
If
Because
you
I'm
could
black.
just please,
Basketball.
if you could just please do me a favor.
Yeah, I know that's awfully racist, First Amender. Why does it have to be basketball? Huh? There's no other sport you could have compared this to. Why does it have to be basketball? Huh? First Amender, you racist! You racist! Cancel First Amender right now.
And just answer the question directly instead of spending and wasting my time with another pivot. I would really be very appreciative of it. Okay, you can remove that now. I'm happy.
like I hear what you're
So
saying.
once again, so I'm going to ask you once again, can you define reparations in policy terms? This is question 1 of 4.
I just
You didn't. You
that is my
didn't.
definition
You
of
didn't. So
because
explain it.
you like.
Explain. Define what you ending DEI programs is not a reparation. We've
Very
already agreed that reparations are an affirmative compensation of harm. If you are referring to an affirmative compensation of harm, affirmative is not removing the funding for some perceived thing that you think of. That's not what a reparation is. If you're talking about we should remove these things and that would be reparations, that's not
Yes.
what a reparation is. That's not what it is.
Your
You shouldn't have. Here's the thing. You know what's the worst part about this? You're the one that came up with this prompt.
It's a
You're the
form of
one that is asking me. No, it's not. You're an no, it's not. You're just an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about. You're just a moron.
Oh yeah, no, I say that to people too. Like when someone says, "Oh yeah, you people," I go, "What do you mean, you people?" And it doesn't matter what group of people they're talking about. I just go, "You people." It's a funny line.
moron that has no idea what he is talking about, didn't even Google what a fucking reparation was, and then just wanted to pivot and talk about fucking nonsense while having no ability to even engage in the actual questions.
A form of
Well, you know what? At least someone Googled what reparations were, because 1stAmender clearly didn't.
reparation. First
All right.
Amender went over this and entailed this, and then you
All
go
right.
over your diatribe of me
Now,
playing.
let's try. Well, I mean, it's obvious to me that you're just going to pivot on the next fucking question. Okay. So rather than me ask you the same question, because it's obvious that you have zero policy, you
That-
have no accurate definition
That
of
is
a reparation in policy terms. So automatically already on this on its face,
reparation.
you're not serious about this. If you
That is-
cannot answer that simple question,
DEI
you're not
is-
serious about this. So now we're gonna go. No, but that's not a fucking reparation, idiot. Hey, idiot. That's not what that is.
Hold on.
Reparations, Jesus Christ, man. We need to have affirmative action in your fucking college so that way you can fucking learn your freaking your basic freaking logic here. This is
Affirmative action in your college? What? But I thought DEI was helped white people, as he later on claims. 1stAmender later on claims this, but he'll probably deny that affirmative action and DEI are the same thing, but they totally are.
fucking insane. Let's try one more time. Number 2. Okay, number 2. Let's try it this way.
Aspirin as a minor, as a youth.
Please provide me what specific race-based federal policy
Hey, how's it going, Tyler?
targeted white Americans. Give me a very real race-based policy, federal policy that negatively impacts white Americans. That doesn't affect America. That doesn't affect white people.
It does. DEI
No, it
only
fucking doesn't. You're an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about. That affected minorities. That doesn't affect white people. And if anything, that affects white people positively. DEI affect the part that the fucking idiot right wingers like to think. They like to think the idiot right wing thing where they're like, oh, diversity, equity, and inclusion. That mean like black people and black people bad. Black people need be merit based, despite the fact that we have created redlining laws and all sorts of stuff that specifically discriminate against black people and fuck everybody else. And we're going to give all the good stuff for white people. And then we wonder why black people do very badly. But once again, right, I'm asking you, right? What?
Yeah, 1stAmender again with the very liberal, brainwashed, indoctrinated thinking that like, oh, because bad thing happened to black people a long time ago, that's why they're not in a good position now. But again, like, how come it seems like black people seem to be doing, listen, I don't have stats, but I mean, how come they seem to be the race with the most help? How come every other race seems to be doing okay? Like Japanese people, right? Oh, we had the internment camps here, but Japanese people seem to be doing just fine. Like Asians, they seem to be doing just fine in this country. Okay, how come we don't have to give them reparations? It's how come it's only like black people, like people like 1stAmender, like how much longer pretty much do we have to go until we're like, okay, I think black people are fine? You know, like how many years do we have to continue this and keep blaming slavery and Jim Crow laws and segregation for why black people aren't in a good spot today? Like how much longer does it have to be? 50 more years until we're like, okay, we're Civil Rights Act passed, it's good enough, the playing field's leveled. Like how much more do we have to do this for?
Specific race-based federal policy targeted white Americans negatively, please.
How does DEI help white people? You just lied to me. Go ahead.
Okay, the part that Republicans like to think or forget about is called DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion, and then there's an A at the end of it. Did you know that there's an A?
How does it help
That's the
white
part that everybody forgets. It's called accessibility. So people that have, say, mental health issues, or if they have some physical malady, so that includes white people. That positively affects white people. Are you?
Yeah, so he brings up DEI. He brings up how there's an A in DEI, which is assistance for like the handicap or whatnot. And he goes, well, that helps white people. Yeah, listen, are majority of white people handicapped? Is that something that affects most white people? No, only some white people. By the way, it's not only white people that have handicap, that could have a handicap, any race. So just because there is a very little bit that helps white people doesn't mean, therefore, DEI is good. And you could have the handicap stuff without DEI. And also, too, how fucked up is it that liberals uh lump in being black or a minority or something in with being handicapped? How fucked up is that? And they don't even realize it. They don't realize how fucked up that sounds. By the way, Ken, thank you very much for the 5 Canadian dollars. So is Marte's argument basically reallocating the money for EBT towards reparations for white people? And first offender just being a racist, LMAO. Yeah, just being a huge racist. Um, I think I know Marte is advocating for cutting down programs that are harmful to white people, which is a form of reparations. And I know he's also for cutting down programs that take out a lot of money. And yeah, I'm sorry, like I forgot what exactly he means to do with that money. I don't know if he means just to save that money or whatnot, or to give it as a form of payment to white people. But yeah, it's basically along those lines of cutting
In
programs.
favor of, say,
Want me to look at
handicap
the numbers right now?
spaces?
You
Are
want to
you
look at
in
the numbers
favor
right
of
now?
handicap spaces?
No, DI has
They're
systemic.
not in favor of handicap spaces. Get rid of the ramps. Fuck
Not what
Let
I
him answer.
handicap people.
That's not what I said. Matter of fact, you're mischaracterizing this right now.
I'm asking you.
When it comes to white people,
Thank you very much, Bandit, for the $1.99 super sticker.
this is it had been an overarching overcorrection of affecting white people. DEI harms white people. It doesn't aid in white people when it comes to DEI. Now, you can go to the minority of maybe handicapped people and all these other people who get in through DEI, but that program, once cut, will actually have a merit-based systemic approach to the job market. Matter of fact, if you eliminate, that's a net positive. We should get rid of DEI. You're arguing for handicapping black people so that way they can go ahead and be handicapped from improving on merit-based systems. Well, they can't even do this because you're handicapping them by giving them free handouts.
Yeah.
Just because of the color of their skin, you're going to have a pilot flying your plane that's less competent to fly it compared to who has an education and more competent to fly a jet than Shaniqua Stevens. This is crazy. Merit-based programs, all I'm talking about.
You have no idea what you're talking about. Okay.
You can't tell me.
I'm gonna go a little bit because I heard that he had like a little mini crash out later, because this is some of the part that I missed. Oh, I want to actually go to the super chats because I don't see it much getting better. If you want to see the full thing, go to Marte's channel or Speakeasies. 1stAmender, why push the red herring policy when the topic doesn't mention it? Paul, here. I'm trying to see what super chat it was that he had to answer, and he was seething about it. See lots of people from the Coolverse sending those super chats in there, asking these questions. Trench, tell me how hiring with racist is not racist. Who asked a question? Someone told me earlier that they asked a question he had to answer. Was it you, Scott? Or was it Bandit? Was it this one right here? That's great, Bandit. All right, we'll get
Next one, World Radio, $5 says,
that's funny too, Isaac.
why is 1stAmender just like Keith Gill, Roaring Kitty from GME?
I like the look. I think it looks cool. I've been growing my hair out. It's been going over my head. So I put a headband on and I'm like, hey, let's get some glasses. It'll be look kind of cool.
Keep telling yourself, 1stAmender.
That's what's up. $2 from Bandit says, what does first A mean, or 1A, sorry, mean? I hate these people.
Right wing chuds. Not being right wing necessarily. I can discuss and have discussions with right wingers. I don't have an issue with right wingers, but there's
Bullshit. He said before he hates right wingers. He said it. He's like, I fucking hate right wingers.
an essence of just internet bound, basement dwelling, just stuck on the internet constantly and just getting inflamed over things that do not exist, specifically because there's just a lot of social media that gets a lot of clicks. And and now it has become so prevalent that we now have here a black person saying Jim Crow laws is nuanced. So
It
that's
is.
the type of
It
person
is
I hate.
nuanced.
I hate people that are immune to facts, if you will. They refuse to acknowledge
Projection.
realities of situations.
I'll ask you a
And
question.
this is your right wing chuddery.
First Amender, is slavery
Right wing shuddery. Okay, that's pretty funny. I like that. I like to partake in right wing chuddery. I really like to partake in right wing chuddery. But it's funny because see, this is the type of um being condescending that I'm talking about for the First Amender, and even specifically from a lot of people on the left, they just by default think that everything they believe is true, and everything we believe in, we're just getting upset at just made up bullshit. Like we're just getting upset at nonsense. When in reality, it's like, no, we actually are getting upset at actual things, and you guys just lie and gaslight us and tell us that's not a real thing, kind of like what First Amender is doing now. Meanwhile, I could point to many examples of things the left have gotten mad at, that either don't exist or are just overblown out of proportion. For instance, was it the left that believed that cops were just going around killing black people? Remember that? Cops were just going around killing black people. And then there is like a documentary made or like a video made where they would ask people, how many blacks do you think are killed by the police every year? And there were some that were like, yeah, like in the millions, like 4 million or through like, million or hundreds of thousands. And then they would tell them the real stat and they would be like, what? Like, really? Or even during COVID, like people thought that more people were dying than they really were at COVID. And so, like, this whole notion, it just kind of irritates me. This whole notion that everything the left believes is just automatically, it's just true. And then everything the right believes, oh, it's just us getting upset at nonsense. Like, they would tell us things that, like, oh, DEI, that's not a real thing. But then, oh, DEI is a real thing and they support it. Oh, drag queens, transgender people, transgenders in, you know, like the transgender stuff, there's a lot of gaslighting going on there. Or even like in schools, like, oh, there's no sex books in these schools, and then there are. um Drag queen story hours, and like taking kids to drag queen shows isn't a real thing, and then there's like video footage of drag queen shows with kids there. There's a lot of things that the left just lies and gaslights us about, and they'll just tell us that's not really happening. Or how about like illegals can't vote in elections, but then they're concerned that ICE are going to be at election polls. Okay, well, why are you concerned if illegals aren't voting in the elections? So I really resent this notion that the left just automatically, like First Amendment here, just assumes that everything he believes is true and everything we believe is just a bunch of nonsense. It's really upsetting, really condescending, and I really resent that.
a nuanced discussion?
No.
Oh, this is bullshit. All right. You're disingenuous and bad faith. Let's move on. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Prisoners are a form of slavery that exists today. Yet, if we release all these,
I don't argue. I don't like.
stupid.
I don't want prisoners to be used as forced labor. I agree with you. That should be abolished because I believe that is slavery.
We shouldn't take killers and put them away.
I don't believe. No,
PDF
I
files
did
shouldn't
not
be
say
put away.
that. I did
Where
not
would
say
they
you
go?
can't incarcerate people. I'm saying that they can't. You cannot force them for work for profit. That's
Yes,
the
we
problem.
can. Do you
I
lose all
know
your
we can. I know we can right now. I'm saying I'm providing you my moral position, which
What's
is I
morally
don't
wrong
believe we should.
What's morally wrong about having a PDF file pick up trash on the side of the road and give back to the community? Can you tell me what?
I just don't.
I mean, think about the murderers and the rapists' rights. Think about the criminals' rights, damn it. Think about the criminals' rights.
I don't think that there should be a profit incentive towards prisons in general. I think what it does is it incentivizes reasons to get more people imprisoned. And because that there's a profit incentive behind it, more people get thrown into prison as a result. I understand it seems
No.
appropriate to apply a retributive justice on somebody that has done a wrong thing. I just think it leads to far worse outcomes than any benefit that is gained via the retribution.
Housing, feeding, and resources cost taxpayers thousands of dollars, $39,000 to house an inmate. Where's the financial incentive exactly coming from when they pick up on the side of the road? Are they not to give back to the community?
The private prison system.
All the
Community
small
service is not forced.
the
Community
smaller
service is not profit via forced labor.
That's a
It's
small
free labor.
minority
There would be no
businesses.
money that is exchanged
No,
between whoever is receiving the service to who's providing the service, the prison. That's the
who's
difference.
majority, state prisons or private
I'm
prisons?
not against. I'm FYI. I'm not against community service. I understand that there is a
You
necessity
just
to
contradicted yourself.
community service.
You
No,
just
you have.
contradicted
You just
yourself.
don't know what the fuck you're
You
talking
can't have
about. You're once
PDF
again a
files.
complete fucking idiot.
You don't want PDF files to give back to the communities, the people that are going to be released. They should at least give back because they violated minors.
What an
That's
idiot.
it.
Move on.
Even
I can't
say
handle
that.
this fuck-
See, and then when people like he did that to me too, it's like I would bring up a good point and he'd be like, "Oh, sorry, I wasn't listening." Like, but what's funny about First Amender is that he will be the one that sit there is like, "I think that we should learn from each other, listen to one another, have a conversation, and learn from each other." But I've said it before, like this guy has no interest in learning anything from us because he doesn't think there's anything to learn from us. He just thinks that we're all a bunch of fucking idiots who just believe in a bunch of nonsense. It gets worked up over nothing, over a bunch of bullshit and stuff, and that we're just stuck online. So if he really feels that way, what would he feel that he has to learn from us exactly? If we're just a bunch of idiots that don't know what we're talking about, well, what would he feel he needs to learn from us? What he says that he means that he wants us to listen to him and learn from him and his fucking nonsense.
fucking moron.
All right. Next one, last two here. First one of the last two. Bandit says, "How does helping white
Okay, and then I'm. Oh, actually, I want to hear this.
whites? How does helping whites
YouTubers.
improve DEI?"
How does helping whites improve DEI? We already help whites through DEI.
How?
There's the Pell Grant. That's one. Parental leave. That's another one. Non-discrimination based off of skin color. That's another one.
That's
What?
discriminating.
Yeah.
Period. DEI.
How is that helping white people not discriminating based on skin color when DEI literally discriminates against white people? Doesn't make any sense.
Non-discrimination based on skin color is discrimination. And it is not discrimination to discriminate based on skin color. Do you not listen to yourself talk? You're a fucking idiot, dude. Holy shit, dude.
DEI is discriminative
Dude,
towards
how much lead is in the walls? How much lead did you eat as a kid?
Notice how he's not continuing with the argument right now.
Yes,
Chad.
because you literally contradicted yourself in a single sentence.
I
You
didn't.
didn't say anything even remotely logical.
DEI is
What am I supposed to you're I'm sitting you're sitting there saying the rain isn't wet. I was dry out in the rain. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? What?
yeah,
What?
let's read this.
All right. Let's see. I want to see where Scott's question is because I want to see that. Ava Rice sent in a super chat. Let's see here. Oh, here we go. Here's Scott's.
Regardless of
Scott for $5 says, "Can First Amender argue without righteous indignation or tone policing?"
Dude, Emmett, now we need to have like a we need to have a clip, an edited clip of First Amender and Menard just shouting what at another, which is like what? Dude, that'd be great.
regardless of whether or not that I am incapable of
Says, "Can First Amender argue without righteous indignation or tone policing?"
regardless of whether or not that I am incapable of righteous indignation or tone policing, I'm not wrong. You actually can't prove
What? Oh boy. Oh boy.
me wrong because I've actually done my homework. I actually know what I am talking about. And this moron has nothing but podcasts. He doesn't actually
See, and that's what he thinks that this is not the first time First Amender has said that. Like he thinks all we do is just listen to like Fox News and podcasts. He's been saying this for a few months. That's what I mean. Like, he just looks down on us and thinks that we're just a bunch of retards that just listen to podcasts and we just get all worked up about it. And it's like, first of all, that's really like I said, condescending of him just to assume that that's all we do. We just listen to podcasts and then we're just like, duh, oh, okay. And then we just go on. It's really stupid and naive, and ignorant. That's what I'm looking for. It's really ignorant to assume that that's all we do. He's better than us because he actually reads stuff. No one on the right, we actually read stuff. No, we're too stupid and we just listen to podcasts. By the way, James Avarice. Yeah, no, I know his name's Avarice, James. I call him Ava Rice to make fun of Sarah because Sarah calls him Ava Rice, or Ricey Boy. So that's a dig at Sarah.
Do any reading. He doesn't actually understand any of these studies. He doesn't read any studies. He just looks at Twitter or whatever fucking nonsense and becomes a goddamn quote unquote health professional. Fucking idiot. He's a moron.
All right. And next one comes in from Greg Dorgan for $10.
Yeah, and the thing is, him just automatically assuming he's right. Like, there's no humbleness there. He thinks that, like, because he reads studies, as if all studies are correct, either like they're all correct and they're all done on the up and up, which we all know, like, not all of them are done with the up and up. There are people that are biased that are conducting these studies to get a result that they want. And if we like, whenever we bring up an expert or something, he just dismisses them as like, well, like, he dismisses whatever experts we bring up or whatever studies that we bring up. We must, again, because we're right wingers, we must pick the wrong studies to listen to, I guess, and he picks all the right ones. It's just really all ignorance on his part. Love me a second serving of cope. Yeah. Projection. Yeah. Yeah, hey guys, I watch a bunch of left wing stuff that affirm my biases, so you're wrong. Yeah, he really does. But he thinks he's right. That's the sad part. He reads a bunch of left wing stuff that affirms his biases, and then he just assumes, but I'm right on this stuff. First Amender who doesn't, First Amender who thinks that men can be women, yeah, he thinks he's not wrong here. Such a prideful person, everybody is wrong except him. Yeah, that's the thing that's irritating about these people, and that's why they get so many things wrong, is that they can't keep themselves humble and acknowledge that maybe you don't know everything. Like, maybe there's some things that you're wrong about. That seems to be a common theme with a lot of these people that I cover here. I actually, and to think about how to sound out, I'm just glad you understood. Oh, yeah, avarice. Yeah. I had a DEI microphone, but the poll results in the end were merit based. Yeah, exactly. So let's go and look, check in with the cope here with First Amender. First Amender, by the way, who refuses to stay for the after panel because he's a coward who he'll go, well, I'm just going to get dogpiled, and why am I going to stick around for that? But it's like, dude, there are people that get dogpiled all the time that still show up, you know? So, like Manar, for instance, right? Manar gets dogpiled everywhere like every panel he joins, he still shows up. Say what you will about Manar, but he's not a bitch.
Terrible. And then walk away thinking, oh, wow, victory, amazing. I did so great. What an amazing comment. It's a completely vacuous comment. I get those comments 100 times a week, I'd say. It's water off of a duck's back. It's not substantive. If you have something of substance, I am actually interested in understanding my position. And if I'm wrong about the position, what I want is show me, give me the information, right? And I asked him the very basic questions.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, I agree. I know why both of them get dogpiled on. I know why they do it. I'm just saying that at least Manar will go into a panel even if he knows he's going to get dogpiled, where First Amender is just like, he's just a coward.
Can you define reparations in policy terms? And here, I'll show you my notepad so you can see it for yourself.
Stupid music.
I wrote it down to ensure, hey, let's see what it has to say. And, can you define reparations in policy terms? I had written down even earlier before saying no answer, everything that he had said with each of these questions. He didn't actually answer any of them.
He did, actually. What specific race-based federal policy targeted white Americans? DEI. What measurable economic damage did that policy cause? Well, make him quantify harm. Well, listen, I don't know if Martae actually did that. Maybe that's one thing Martae didn't do. However, there is still tangible harm if white people can't get jobs because there are jobs out there that are like, well, I'm going to hire this black person over this white person. Yeah, that causes tangible harm. What is your proposed mechanism of repair? Cash payments, tax credits from whom to whom? Again, Martae did answer that. I would say Martae answered 3 of the 4 questions.
So here, I'll even like Control Z, so you could see that. Can you define reparations in policy terms? Incarcerations and corrections. 38% prison population, violent criminal arrests. Every time black people get pissed, they burn shit down. This happens under liberal presidency that has decreased because of Trump. Graffiti,
Yeah.
mom pop shop stores get robbed. The DEI spending, 68, 69% DEI. It costs systems a lot. Like none of this stuff is even making any.
Yeah, Martae, exactly. Martae has gone on the panels where they're all against him, and he didn't back down. He showed up. He just did one recently. He went up against the panelverse, and yeah, that's why I'm saying 1stAmender is a bitch.
sense. This will be a reduction, affirmative action, EEOC enforced. I'm like, dude, where is the substance? I'm asking him specifically define reparations in policy terms, provide that information. He at no point ever provided an answer. He almost did with this direct material benefits, but he actually never explained what direct material benefits. All he said was to remove specific policy, which wouldn't actually be a direct material benefit in the form of reparations. It's totally nonsensical. Martae engaged and gave what he would like to see for a change. What? The nuance of Jim Crow laws? Like,
No, see, so 1stAmender now has to be just disingenuous and act like Martae actually didn't give anything. So he just has to sit here and cope and lie about it, even though Martae clearly did. And just because 1stAmender didn't want to engage or wasn't the answer that he wanted, and so he had to act like a jackass. So now he has to come on and lie, and Martae actually didn't say anything.
saw he argued, he was saying there's nuance for Jim Crow laws.
Hey, how's it going, Grid?
Do you see the problem? Like, I have a black guy telling me we should bring back that there's nuance involved with Jim Crow. What am I supposed? How am I supposed to engage with this guy?
Just like how there's a bunch of white people that like to say that, whoa, we need to import a bunch of illegals over here, or we need to give blacks reparations and stuff like that. What's your point? What's your point? There's white people that cut themselves. I'm not saying that's what Martae's doing, but I'm just saying that there's a lot of people that, like, just because you call out your own race or say that my race is bad because of this, that's not an argument, 1stAmender. What does that mean?
There is no engagement. The Berserk 007 says, I am mostly in opposition to your stances, but you won that easy. He can't win a debate based off of a poll. Anyways, wanted to give you a credit. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. And if you liked this discussion, maybe you like to hear positions that are opposing of your own, right? Because let's be honest, right? The internet is filled with just right-wing podcasts and right-wing talks and right-wing this, right-wing that, millions and millions of watchers and visitors, and and
man, that's his thing. He really just thinks all we do is just listen to right-wing podcasts. Yeah, oh yeah. I listen to Joe Rogan, and all of a sudden I'm like, I'm an expert now. Like this is really what this guy thinks of us, guys. And then he wonders why no one likes him. Like that's why he wonders at why everyone thinks he's such a smug, fucking condescending prick. It's because, like, look how he talks about us. It's just he just thinks, oh yeah, we just listen to podcasts.
And I think if I believe I can be one of those podcasters one day. I believe that. And I think I have good arguments to bring to the table. But what I find very often is rather than actually addressing what I'm saying, they don't actually address at all what I had said. And just go off. Like with this instance, it was just platitudes. There was no substance. I wrote down what he was saying. He provided nothing, literally nothing.
Yeah, just because he didn't write it down for 1stAmender doesn't mean he didn't. Like, you didn't write down everything that he said. Like, when he actually gave you, and like when you asked him again what policy he answered you, you didn't write any of that down. No one likes him because he cannot actually debate. Well, I mean, listen, like that is true. That is true. But also because he's such a smug prick about it, too. It's one thing to be a shitty debater, but it's another thing to be such a smug prick about it as well. By the way, 1stAmender does the same shit. There'll be times where people will ask him a question and he doesn't directly address it. So what the fuck is he talking about? Like, that's what I mean. Like, he thinks so highly of himself. He thinks that he's this like great debater and he's this super smart person. But he's not.
Let's see here. Jordan Russell says, you're acting as if it's the N-word or something. There's literally no evidence to suggest that Jack's usage of the word was racially motivated. You're operating purely off emotion. I have no idea what you're talking about.
See? Like right there. Let me go back.
Just that Jack's usage of the word was racially motivated. You're operating purely off emotion. N-word or something. There's literally no evidence to suggest that Jack's usage of the word was racially motivated. You're operating purely off emotion. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, so like he said you're operating off emotion. He just goes, well, I just have no idea what you're talking about. Now, like maybe he didn't know what the before, like everything before that you're operating off of emotion, what he was talking about there. But he is operating off of emotion and he's not trying to engage at all with any of that argument. He just goes, I don't know what you're talking about.
Dems do not comprehend nuance. I provided all the nuance. I provided all the information. Again, he had not answered a single one of these questions. Not a single one was answered. And I had another one. I had a fourth one. I said, what is your proposed mechanism of repair? I couldn't even get to this because I'm just expecting him to answer.
Someone put it, you don't engage 1stAmender until you do that. You are not going to make it. It's a debate, not a Q&A. Yeah.
Any of these questions. He can't. That's because there is no actual policy that like, if you think I didn't look that up, I did. There is no policy. It's a fucking slam dunk of an argument. Bobro says savage is a derogatory term to describe a person of people whose speaker regards as primitive and uncivilized. It has predominantly been used to refer to indigenous, tribal, and nomadic peoples. I'm assuming you're talking to somebody else. Let's see. I called Irina's murder a savage. Void went into straight up victim maxing. Oh, I see. If you guys have any questions for me, I'll answer it. I received a dono. Why didn't I answer the dono? I'm so sorry. Let me open up and I didn't read it. I'm so sorry. Where is it? Bing. Revenue? The dono. Oh, here we go. I found it. Recent event. Big League Drew said, I tried to tell you when I first called in, brother. Tried to tell me what? Yeah, it was Big League Drew. Is Big League Drew still in the chat? What did you...
Big League Drew, I think, is the only guy that donates to 1stAmender. He has one simp. And it's this Big League Drew guy.
You try to tell me. Man. I'm trying to like... There's no way I'm going to be able to sleep. At least right away. That's why I'm kind of just here. I'm just talking for a bit.
Yeah, he's trying to butch up. Yeah, I know. He's like, well, maybe my testosterone levels will rise a bit if I put on these sunglasses and this workout headband. Congrats, 1A. He got a dono. Stop the presses. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, he sounded surprised. Exactly. How much do we need for the? Yeah, we need 11 more donos to fill that super chat goal, guys.
Try to calm down, chill. By the way, FYI, that bottle of vodka, I'm gonna let you guys in on a secret. That bottle of vodka is never filled with vodka.
No, really? Gee, I thought you just had a high tolerance for alcohol.
It's just water. I'm not drinking an entire handle of vodka. I just think it's a funny gag. It's a funny gag. Okay.
Well, that's where you're wrong. It's not a funny gag. It was actually really cringe and annoying.
It's a funny gag. I'm not actually drinking an entire handle of vodka. But I was pretending to drink shots out of my blue cup. I thought that was pretty funny. I don't know if you guys liked that.
We didn't. Thank you very much, Bandit, for the $2 for the gold. Thank you very much, brother. Now we just need 10 more to go. Let's do this. The portal needs maintenance.
That was a wild debate. Honestly, maybe I should make that into a video because that was a fucking crazy debate. That one went nuts. I hope you guys liked it. Did you guys like it? Tell me what you guys think. It looks like that you guys are talking to one another, which isn't a problem. Perfectly fine.
No one's even paying attention to them. People are just conversating in the freaking conversating in the chat.
William says keep the gag going. I agree. I think it's a good gag. It works. I'm like, take a shot every time he doesn't answer a question.
Thank you very much, James, for the $20. Sorry for being a dick earlier. Wink, hail, victors. Well, thank you very much, James. It's all good. Water under the bridge.
Just like if anybody wants to leave a comment,
please, anybody.
Phone number is 2. Mostly because as soon as I lay down, probably not going to be able to sleep. That was a lot. William says I was highly entertained. That was fun. Thank you. Please, if you would be so kind, drop a like. And if you're not subbed, drop a sub. Jackatex says the knuckle dragging Uncle Ruckus part hurts Void's feelings.
So now he's going to get a
call. He said it
call.
makes you feel like you're threatening his gay life. All right, we got a phone now. You're on the line with 1stAmender.
Hey, what's up, man? It's Rob.
Hey, Rob.
Oh, it's R0B. Thank you very much, Joe, for the $5. Yeah, it wasn't a funny gag. It was interrupting Martae while he was answering the questions that first said he was dodging. Yeah, exactly. He wanted him to answer the question, and then he would just interrupt as he tried to answer. What a disingenuous twat 1stAmender is. But thank you very much, Postal Joe, for the $5. We're very much appreciated. We're getting closer and closer to that goal.
Going?
What did you think of that?
Yeah, like I told you, man, you destroyed dude, man. You did.
You think? Appreciate
but
it.
I know you did. You did. He couldn't even answer the premise. Reparations was in the debate topic, and he couldn't answer it.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing was, you came off less overall because you were so insulting of him over and over and over again, in every aspect. And you were interrupting him and talking over him, just kept insulting him. You don't need to do that. When your point is valid, you don't have to keep insulting the guy.
It's just
then you belittle his degree and come on,
because
man.
he's. I get
it.
Problem is that
he
like
came
I'm expecting
as a bully.
No, it's just I know. Well, and the problem is that
1stAmender getting freaking lectured by his own fans now, his own viewers. This is fucking hilarious. Thank you very much, Bandit, for the $2. $100 says he dumped the bottle and never drank it. Yeah, I know, right? He just went, bought that expensive bottle of vodka, just dumped it right out, and he's like, all right, I'm going to fill it with water now for my funny gag. Thank you very much, Bandit.
Is that I'm expecting like some response to my question. Anything.
Yeah, but he came off as a bully,
there's
so
even a
you were prepared because the way he talked about it the other day, he talked and he was like, oh, then he started. Then when you went to get some, he was insulting. So when you stepped away and he came back, he was insulting you. But once the debate started, he didn't belittle you not once. Not once.
Yeah. Well, maybe it's a bad move on my part. Maybe I just
No, there's no
I had a
maybe.
very hard. I
It
had a
was a
hard
bad move.
time. I
It was a
have a
bad move
hard
on your
time.
part.
This gentleman here sounds like he might possibly be black. So I mean, First Amender should be learning from a black person. He should sit down and listen when a strong black man is talking, a strong black king.
Somebody where it's like I need him to answer simple questions, simple,
Right, and you
right?
did
Just
the
like
right thing on the first
basic.
question. You moved on because he couldn't answer, so you had to move on, or you just be going back and forth, and that's, you'd have lost everybody. But the thing was,
Yeah.
at some point, you have to see that he was using, and he tried to turn it to a racial matter. So basketball, you trying to say that wasn't even the premise at all of what you were saying about him pivoting. That just happened to be the
Yeah.
picture of the thing that you showed. He just tried to do that to throw something in there because he had nothing.
Yeah.
He had nothing. So use this as an opportunity to learn, okay, I can't continuously insult someone and remain in the good graces of the public. It was a bad look for you.
Maybe. Maybe.
No, no,
Maybe.
no.
See, at least this guy is like holding him accountable and just being like, nah, you were, because it wasn't even just like, listen, I'm not saying, oh, First Amender, he should have been nice. No, but he wasn't even fucking listening to Martae. He just, whenever Martae gave him the answer he didn't like Martae answered his question, but because First Amender didn't like it, then he just had it pretty much kind of halted the whole debate. It didn't make it entertaining. It didn't add to it at all. It actually took away from the debate big time. Thank you very much, Bandit, for the $2. 1A expected simple questions. Racist. Damn. Racist First Amender strikes again. Thank you very much, Bandit, for that.
I was in the chat. Everybody was saying it. I felt it. The guy and the guy, the
to be
moderator, he
fair,
would
right?
try to leave you away from.
To be fair, though, right?
Can't
like,
take
you
responsibility at all.
understand that the audience there is very heavily catered to right wing.
No. I'm in your chat. I didn't go there. I was in your chat.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
We were all
People
we
like,
were
"Oh,
all
he's
talking
insulting."
about how.
Yeah.
But the water
I
thing,
didn't care. I
that's
didn't
good
care.
though.
The what?
That's good. What you
Fucking- See, First Amender, he's getting uncomfortable now because he's getting his he's actually being made to realize and try to take some responsibility, which none of these lefties love to do. They hate it. They're like immune to taking responsibility.
should though. This is what you.
Hold on, my stupid fucking AirPods are acting up. Give me 1 second, guys.
If this is.
Come on. Come on. All right. I'm going to exit the studio and come back in real quick, guys. Be right back. All right, I'm back. All right, let's do this.
This is the field that you operate in. You just need to care.
Yeah.
The vodka thing, that was good though. That's a good gig. That's a good gag. I like it.
Thank you.
But yeah, you need to not overdo it and belittle someone.
Yeah.
And he never once said anything. So
Man, the guy said that he wanted that there's nuance to
yeah, he said
Jim
nuance to
Crow.
slavery. Forget Jim Crow. He said slavery.
He said there's nuance.
No. You miss.
Who?
He
Yeah,
said
to slavery too.
after that.
Like
Yes.
what is the nuance to Jim Crow?
Well, maybe if you would listen, you would learn something. You would learn something, First Amender. But he's not willing to learn anything. Thank you very much, Postal Joe, for the $5. Also, first, basketball pivot analogy doesn't work because in basketball, pivot, you have to keep one foot in the same spot or it's a foul. W. Martae. That's a good point, Postal Joe. Thank you very much for the fiver, brother. Hell yeah. Now we only got five left to fill up that super chat goal. Hell yeah, guys. Hell yeah.
I couldn't. I was like, wow.
I had
This is like
no
me too.
idea.
See, but that's the thing is that like I remember the first time I engaged with 1stAmender, I called into his show, and it was about abortion, and he like fucking spurred out and crashed out because I said, um, they're like, oh, should a 13-year-old I think, or not even a third, me, like a 16-year-old great victim, should they give birth? And I was like, well, like, or should they be allowed to have an abortion? I was like, well, no, they should have give birth. And he was like, that is crazy. What the hell? What the fuck? And I'm like, dude, it's like just because you've been brainwashed to believe that like the that like, okay, Jim Crow automatically just, oh, it's just all bad, it's just evil. And say like a 15 or 16-year-old great victim give birth, like just because you've been brainwashed to think that's evil doesn't mean that it actually is, and doesn't mean I'm a bad person because I say that. It's because I believe a life's a life, and we shouldn't punish the life for the sins of the father. But 1stAmender would know that if he actually were interested in learning and listening to one another, you know. Thank you very much, Isaac, for the $5 super sticker. Thank you very much, brother. They forgot teen pregnancies were a thing. Yeah, exactly. There you are. Then blacks don't know that. No more. Have you seen the NBA? B now stands for ballet. That's funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, he could actually learn something. Like, how is that? Like, if 1stAmender said an opinion that I found outrageous, I would listen and be like, why would you think that? Right? Why do you think that? I wouldn't just hear it and be like, oh my God, 1stAmender, that is outrageous. What the hell? Where's the nuance in that?
You had the right answer. You can't even debate with somebody on that topic.
No.
I usually go with a sports reference with that. When somebody comes to me with something so stupid, if I'm talking sports, I talk a different sport.
Yeah.
If we're talking politics, I talk sports. If we're talking sport, I talk politics. I talk current events. Hey, is that storm coming? You think that storm is going to really come, man? I don't know.
Audrey, I don't know what you mean by this comment at all. I voted for the presidential candidate who was found guilty of felonies and was found liable for sexual abuse. If you didn't support the same candidate as the J6 rioters, it means you're a bad person. I don't know what the hell you're talking about here. He forgot to bring up the rat uterus. He must be slipping. Yeah. Yeah, and said he went with the pretending to drink vodka fallacy. Yeah. He's an op. Yeah. Yeah, it's another TDS person just coming in real quick. But it looks like, but I'm just confused about this last sentence. If you didn't support the same candidate as the J6 writers, it means you're a bad person. Like, what are you trying to say here? Like, I don't know what their argument is. Trolling? Yeah, no, I know it's a troll. I just don't understand what their point is, though.
We were talking about.
I'm going to fast forward it to the
yes, no?
person.
Oh, so I tend to avoid any self-identifying information like that. Not that I'm trying to avoid you or anything, or that you would do anything. I just don't know what other people. I have been doxxed in the past, and I've been very intensely.
What you did?
Careful.
That kind of behavior would lead to somebody to dox you.
Yeah.
If you worry about that.
Yeah, probably.
That I can't, like, nah, I'm just going to change the topic and
Yeah, we
move
gotta
on
move on.
and let them get it.
And and you're asking pointed questions, and at no point can it gets so frustrating. And it's like, this guy doesn't engage. There is no engaging. And then you hear his ideas, and it's just zero education, actual zero education. And I'm like,
Well, then, 1stAmender, you should be against DEI then. Because if you're saying Martae, a black man who went to college and got a degree and such, like who got a degree, and you're saying that he actually doesn't know anything, well, then you should be on our side, shouldn't you, 1stAmender? Huh? But in all honesty, it's just this smugness, this whatever First Amender knows. Oh, he knows, and how do you say, like, it's just everything he knows it's true. And as soon as someone says something that contradicts him, or and it's the thing is, I've heard, not even just myself, but I've heard people call into his thing and actually bring up good points, and he just goes, okay, well, I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, pretty much, it's like, if you're not agreeing with me by the end of this conversation, then I just give up because you're just too stupid to understand what I'm trying to tell you. Then he wonders why people don't like him.
Like, this guy's a fucking idiot. I can't get it out of my head. I'm like,
by the way, thank you, Postal Joe, for the $5. Hi, Audrey. I mean, Brian. I know, right? Thank you very much, Joe, for the $5.
what? Like, you don't listen to a
you shouldn't have
5-year-old.
harped
You
on
don't
it.
listen to a. You don't
You
listen
shouldn't
to a
have harped on
5-year-old.
his education because
No.
there are plenty of people who are probably didn't even finish high school that can engage in strong debates. So don't harp on his education. That just turns people against you as
That's
well.
what I'm saying. It's like it's not even a knowledge thing. It's now more of just a rhetoric thing. It's just how do people feel as opposed to what are the facts? What are the actual
Freaking projection, First Amender. That's all projection. That's what you do.
No, what I'm
facts
He always goes towards his feelings.
pointing
behind
out to
something?
you is that when you are so harsh on somebody talking about their education or lack of it, or you criticizing or questioning it, you turn people against you.
Yeah. Well, it's fine. We should probably wrap up. It's good
that's
talking
cool.
to you. Okay.
But I'm just pointing that out to you.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Rob.
man.
I appreciate you calling.
All right.
Have a good day.
Yep.
Good night, rather.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. All right. That was Rob, ladies and gentlemen.
R0B.
I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm like this.
Wait, what?
I lose my so easy.
He says, I lose my what? I lose my.
And there's probably an argument to be made. I lost my cool. You know how I am. I lose my cool so easy.
I mean, yeah, these gays are so sassy and emotional, you know.
I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm like this.
Yeah, it's because you can't fathom other people actually having a point, like people who disagree with you actually having some sort of point, or might actually know what they're talking about. You just think you know everything. And when someone disagrees with you, you just think because they're stupid and listen to podcasts.
Let's see. Raiden Jack says void. I am black. My friends are black. My white. Let's see. Oh, I think
I'm black. My friends are black and white and Mexican and Asian. We all grew up in there. We
everybody's
share
talking to one another. If you have any questions for me or you have anything to say to me, I can answer you. I'm looking at the chat right now.
Hey, how's it going, Keith?
I hope you guys like this.
Nah.
It was a very entertaining discussion.
It's funny. Someone in the chat right here put, I lost my cool. You know how I am. We do. LMAO. Don't sweat it.
But God damn, man. Just get tired. What is this deal with Savage? Like, what is this? We've been having a whole convo for a while. First, in the morning. Language police. If I want to call someone savage, I'll call them a savage, and I could see how savage could be used in a derogatory way, but I could also see how savage could be used in a positive way as well.
What if my
Words
last
have
name is
multiple meanings
Savage?
sometimes. There's very few instances where it's like a word, you just don't use a specific word. I can think of like the N-word, for example. It's probably a word you would never use. You should never. He tried to goad me to say the N-word at him. I'm like, are you crazy, dude? That is never happening. Meanwhile, I think we should have Jim Crow law.
When did he say
Where's
that?
my marzipan?
When did he say we should have Jim Crow laws?
I'm going to have a marzipan. you guys know what marzipan is?
Oh my god, really? Do you guys know what marzipan is, or are you guys too stupid?
Let me disappear that notepad plus.
Okay, guys, listen. I've seen a bunch of people do this recently. Okay, if you're eating and you're streaming, turn off your mic for a little bit or something, you know? It's annoying. No one wants to hear the chewing noises. I remember one time I ate on camera and I turned off my mic, but I didn't know that it was actually recording from my freaking AirPods. The sound input was coming from the AirPods, and people bitched and complained to me about the chewing. The thing is, I completely understand. I don't blame them. No one wants to hear the chewing. So ever since then, I've been careful. I double checked where the input's coming from before I go, and I test it and everything. But yeah, I've seen people do this. They just eat on there. I think Dusty did it recently. Sarah did it recently. 1stAmender, like all these people, they just do it. Guy, no one wants to hear you fucking chewing. Just turn off your mic real quick and just fucking eat something. No one wants to hear that.
I'll sleep. I need to tone down my heart rate. All right. This is marzipan. It is a sweet confection made from ground almonds and sugar.
Okay, he really going with the marzipan?
I have. I don't refer to Uncle Ruckus specifically for black people. I think it's like there's like a group, a type of person where it's like they're a member of that group by just virtue of existing, not out of their own choice necessarily. And they're actively against their own self-interests.
So now he's trying to defend that, calling them Uncle Ruckus or whatever, or that isn't racist. And then he goes on to pretty much explain how it is racist, because he's saying, well, they're a part of a group and they're going in their group's best interest. Okay, well, what group is Martae going against? Oh, is it being black? Oh, so I guess race does have something to do with it then. By the way, thank you very much, Trafalgar, for the $5. I'm out to play Battlefield with the boys. V1C. Salute chat. Salute V1C. Thank you very much, Trafalgar, for the $5, and thank you very much for dropping in. Hope you were entertained. Have fun playing Battlefield.
And so much so that they are disparaging to other members of that group. Right? He had been so self-deprecating towards black people, and he was black himself. Like, and if you look up Martae, right? He's a bodybuilder. He's very strong. I'm looking at him. I'm like, wow, incredible. I couldn't ever do that. I don't think I would.
I hit up Dusty to see where that video is, so I could, oh, I'm not supposed to say that.
Ever be able to do what he does, right? I don't think I would ever have a body that looks like that. That's an achievement. But to hear him talk so disparagingly, he's like, look at all the black people around me. They're horrible. They commit all these crimes. And not me, though. Not me. I'm one of the good ones.
That's not what he said at all. That's what you're just assuming that he means, but that's not what he's saying at all.
Very Uncle Ruckusy. We're disparaging towards his own race. And then he's like, oh, me? But I'm good. I got that revitiligo. Same problem with the Mary Chew. Same exact issue. Oh, all these trans people, they're all horrible, blah, 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 blah. Oh, but not me, though. I'm one of the good ones. As a
freaking 1stAmender is just racism. Yeah, so Mary Chew, I don't know who that is, but he explains that that's a trans person, and I guess this Mary Chew talks about, trans people this, trans people that. So again, so what is it, 1stAmender? Like, so does just someone, because they're a part of a certain group, they should agree with everything that the people in their group do at all times? So like what, Martae's just supposed to excuse everything that people in the black community do? or if a trans person speaks out against the trans community, what they're doing, are they just supposed to just not and just agree with everything the people in their community do? Like this whole like mindset, it just shows like how stupid like First Amender is. He's one of these people that he's stupid, but he thinks he's smart, and then he looks down on us because he thinks we're stupid. But the thing is that he doesn't even realize like how dumb he is. He doesn't realize like what kind of thinking is that oh, okay, because Martae's black, he can't talk about problems in the black community, like he can't, or this Mary Chu person can't talk about problems with the trans community at all. They're just supposed to agree with everything. Like, what is this? Thank you very much. Call me GL for the $2. Identify as a jacked bodybuilder, so it's true. Yeah, nice. Thank you very much, GL, for the $2.
Always, man. I'm like, fuck, dude. I'm like, you are actively pushing against what is good in the world.
I mean, he's from Chile. He's talked about that before. Well, he's not. Okay, it's confusing because he's talked about this before. His parents are from Chile, but the way they make it sound like he was born here, but then he'll also say he's from Chile. So I don't know which one is true or not. Are you from here, First Amender, or are you from Chile? But his parents are from Chile, definitely. So he's Chilean descent. So there you go.
So that's why I call them an Uncle Ruckus. It has nothing to do with their race at all. None. It's more like you're a part of a group. I hope that makes sense. I know.
Yeah.
He was like,
yeah, that's funny. Yeah. No, it's even worse. Blacks should listen to libtard whites because they know better than actual blacks because they have such privileged life. Feel empathy for them. Yeah, exactly. Hey, thank you very much, Isaac. And also, I just realized we ended that first super chat goal. Thank you very much, guys. Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. The power of the Coolverse showing their power tonight. Thank you very much, Isaac, for the $2. Does Amender realize the racism he's perpetuating? Yeah, they don't. They really don't. Like they're talking about how anti-racist they are, but they're like all racist themselves because they view everything as race. They view everything from a racial lens, and so they don't. Yeah, he's a second generation immigrant. Yeah, second generation immigrant. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? You're either a first generation immigrant or you're a first generation American. You're no second generation immigrant, dumbass.
like insinuating over and over that I was being racist because I called him an Uncle Ruckus. I don't think.
Yeah, no, exactly. Same with the Hispanic community. It's a lot worse. I get so much crap for supporting us. Yeah, no, exactly. Like, it's something that I've grown up with. It's like because I don't know Spanish. Like, I'm not fluent in Spanish. I know a little Spanish, but I'm not because I'm not fluent in Spanish, and I'm not dark enough or anything like that. Oh, it's like, oh, I'm actually I've been called whitewash a lot growing up because I have a lot of like Hispanic friends or Mexican friends and stuff. So I was like, oh, like I'm the whitewash one of the group. So it's like, what's funny is like I actually never suffered racism from white people, but I've suffered racism from like, Mexican people or something like that. It's like, how dare you don't know Spanish? What the fuck? It's like some people have gotten upset. Like, what do you mean you don't know Spanish? What?
It's
like, well, I'm in America. Don't we speak English here?
racist. No.
I'm fluent and they're retarded, Vic. You didn't miss much. Well, thank you very much, Emmett.
If you have any other questions, otherwise I have to go to bed. Quick phone call. Quick.
Yeah. Or it's happened too where it's like someone will go up to me like speaking Spanish, and then I'm just looking at them and they're like, and then they'll ask me like, oh, habla español? And I'll be like, no, sorry. And then they'll get mad. And I'm like, well, you're fucking in America. Why don't you learn to speak English? But they'll get mad at like me because I don't know Spanish. Am I Mexican? Yeah, I'm like half Mexican descent, part Native American, and then a few other things I'm not even sure of. But I'm a mutt, but I think I'm predominantly Mexican.
You're on the line with 1stAmender.
Hey, 1stAmender, how you doing?
I don't know if I'm in the mood for you fat ass dogs. Can you keep it quick?
Wrong?
Can you keep it quick?
Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna say real quick. Yeah, you calling him an Uncle Ruckus is a racial slur, man. You should apologize for doing that. That's just low fruit. Just think about it.
I explained myself. I called the Mary Chew and Uncle Ruckus. It is not intended to be racist at all. It has to.
If he was white, would you do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Fair
a
enough.
lie.
Fair enough.
Okay. Yeah, sure enough. I mean, no, he wouldn't do that to a white person. He wouldn't call a white person an Uncle Ruckus. If First Amender were to see a white person that's like, I think we should give reparations to the blacks, or you know what, I like DEI, things that actually go against white people, he wouldn't call them some kind of Uncle Tom or a traitor to his race. So no, because libs don't do that. Libs don't do that. They don't think of themselves as traitors to their own race or anything like that, because that in itself is racist. So they would never call a white person who's for reparations or who's for DEI or who's for just letting a lot of illegals come into this country. They would never call them Uncle Toms or themselves Uncle Toms. But if a black person says things against black people, oh, well, they're an Uncle Tom. They're a traitor to their race. So yeah, no, First Amender is capping when he says that.
Mary Chew
If
is
he wasn't
white.
black or
I called
whatever.
her an Uncle Ruckus.
All right. So, do you believe
Yeah, you called her an Uncle Ruckus though, because she went against trans people though.
that
He went against trans people.
we whites owe blacks reparations?
I mean, if we do, it's like this insurmountable number.
No, I was just.
I wouldn't
asking you,
even
do you-
know how, like, numerically.
Bandit for the $2. So Pinochet missed a couple? Yeah, seems like he is. Seems like he did. I mean, yeah, if I had a time machine, one of the things I'd use it for is going back and convincing First Amender's parents not to come here. Because now we're stuck with First Amender. Thanks a lot, Mr. and Mrs. Amender.
That
I know,
could
but-
accurately be paid off. The suffering is so astronomically huge.
Okay, fair enough. I actually agree with you. I don't think
See, like I would fast forward this, but I want to hear like because I heard the callers go against him, so I want to listen to this call, but I want to fast forward because of the fucking chewing. Don't chew.
we could do that, man. I think it's impossible to do that. So that's why I don't think reparations would be even a good idea. Because if you think about it, I mean, they want reparations for slavery, pretty much. But the fact is, how many black people were slaves? How many black people were slaves back then are alive today? None. You know. I understand if they were slaves. I understand if they were slaves back then, but you know,
I don't want to get into
they weren't
it.
alive for that.
I don't want to get into an art because I'm just going to disagree with you and say, well, what about socioeconomic conditions? And then you're going to disagree that the socioeconomic conditions that can be observable exist, and then we're going to get into an argument about it. And rather, what I would like
to talk about this another time.
Yeah, next time.
All right.
We're trying
all
to
right.
close
You
up
have
shop.
a good night.
See you. Feel free to @ me if you want me to answer something specifically. I'm about to go to bed, pretty tired. If you guys haven't liked the video and subscribed, please, if you could, do me a favor, like and subscribe. Jackatek MMA says Uncle Ruckus was based, to be honest. But the point is that it was like a parody.
Wait. Amender called his dad on stream to ask his dad if he was proud of him, and his dad roasted him? Is that true? Dude, I want to see that. Is that true? That's fucking hilarious. All liberals think they're smarter than they actually are. Look at Wiki. Yeah, exactly.
Of a type of black person that acts a specific way where they're disparaging towards, and it wasn't a good trait. He was seen as kind of like an idiot, kind of a silly character. That's the way that he was portrayed in the Boondocks. So I think it's like, I don't think this is based at all. First, are you streaming tomorrow? I stream.
It was a pretty recent. Oh, dude, I don't want to go searching for it right now, but I gotta find that and come back with that like tomorrow or something. That's fucking hilarious. Yeah, son, you're pretty fucking gay. Isn't he gay, chat? Damn, your dad's actually pretty base, First Amender.
Every Thursday. Despite the fact that I would like to see my boyfriend. I would like to do that, but
Oh, Oh yeah, he complains right here. I heard he complains right here about his freaking boy not being able to see his boyfriend. Gay.
Streaming tomorrow. I stream every Thursday. Despite the fact that I would like to see my boyfriend. I would like to do that, but here I am streaming.
Well, you don't have to. Go see your boyfriend, bro. No one's forcing you to sit here and stream.
Let's see. 50 says, how do we deal with leftists like Hassan who, when given a hypothetical choice between Newsom and Vance, he said he'd vote third party? Man. Jack Attack MMA. Hold on. Let me answer 50 and then I'll answer Jack's question.
1stAmender is a homosexual. Well, he claims he's bi. So yes, he's a homosexual.
He said hypothetical between Newsom and Vance, he'd vote third party. He's too extreme. I don't know, man. Jack Attack MMA says, 1stAmender, how close were you to dropping the hard R and burning a cross on a scale of 1 to 10? 0. Are you fucking crazy? I am not. You wouldn't even hear me.
It's funny. His chat's like boyfriend.
You whisper that shit, dude. Jack Attack MMA says, boyfriend? Yes, my boyfriend. Yes, my boyfriend. I have a boyfriend. And it's even weirder than you think. It's a VR relationship.
VR?
We've seen each other in real life. We know what each other looks like. He doesn't go on my channel because he doesn't like political stuff and he doesn't want to fuck up his feed by watching political stuff. And he just thinks it's too much. He's really, really sweet. He's very nice.
A VR relationship? Holy fucking cow. When Chaos Theory said that in the chat, I was like, there's no way this dude's in a VR relationship. Maybe it was a joke or something, but no, holy cow. He's in a VR homosexual relationship. Dude, this is real life. Like, man, like the jokes just write themselves. Like, I don't even know if I could roast him any harder than that. That seems like something I would make up in order to make fun of him. Like, not only is he gay, but he's probably in a VR relationship. And then he comes out right here. Yeah, I'm in a VR relationship. Not even just like not even a long distance relationship, dude. You should have just said long distance. A VR, like, what do you guys meet up in Roblox or something? What VR relationship is this? VR and gay. Dude. What?
Looks like he doesn't go on my channel because he doesn't like political stuff and he doesn't want to fuck up his feed by watching political stuff. And he just thinks it's too much. He's really, really sweet. He's very nice.
Yeah, I am way behind on my 1stAmender lore. It's like when you said you weren't going to cover Sarah anymore because you felt bad for her. Yeah. Well, no, with Sarah, it's not just that I felt bad. It's that she's actually like insane, you know, like she's actually crazy. 1stAmender, it's more like pathetic. The VR relationship. Honestly, if he wasn't such a smug prick, I would probably feel bad. But because he's so fucking smug, I don't.
Nice. 50 says he's a cancer to Democrats. He said that if Kamala had won, nothing would be different.
Wait, what?
Maybe.
What, Elder Lion? Back when he had a trans as his boyfriend, he used to say he sucks his girlfriend's. Oh, no one. Oh, man, of course, he dated a trans. No wonder he's like always defending the trans community. Of course. Like these people, they're stereotypes at this point. Like, this sounds like stuff that we would say to make fun of them, but it's actually true. Why do these people? Why are these people list off all of the checkpoints? Stereotypes are a thing for a reason, guys. Stereotypes exist for a reason. I honestly, though, I don't know which is worse, the VR relationship or the trans relationship, though. It's not gay if it's your girlfriend's balls in your face. Yeah. Yeah, literally all the stereotypes are real. Like, stereotypes exist for a reason, guys. It's like we make a joke about them, like, oh yeah, he was probably with a trans person, and then sure enough, it's like they were. Don't call it art for $5. It doesn't get any more pathetic than a VR homosexual relationship. Incels are more respectable. Something is seriously wrong with this guy. Yeah. Oh boy. It's definitely an oh boy. Appeal to oh boy fallacy. Oh boy. So he is a degenerate coomer. Yeah. All these people, they just degenerate coomers. And then that's why he's probably so resistant to God and such. Well, if I actually believe in God and become a Christian or some shit, then I won't be able to have my degenerate VR furry relationships and date trans. It might be a VR trans boyfriend, yeah. Yeah, now I'm reminded of the dog mess that called in. What's wrong with these people? Yeah. How can I coom though? Yeah, it's like they think, well, as long as I do it, it's not crazy. Yeah. That's why they're liberals, you know. They're like, oh, well, you do you as long as I can engage in my degenerate fucking behavior and I let you engage in your degenerate fucking behavior, then that's the world that I want to live in. Just don't judge me. Don't judge me, people. Judging is bad, okay? Hate has no home here. Okay, now the new frontier, is he a furry too? I added the furry thing in. I actually don't know if he's a furry, but at this rate, I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised. I would actually probably be more surprised if he wasn't a furry. Yeah, Coomer's got a coom. Yeah, makes sense that his dad roasted him. Now, yeah, dude, I gotta find that, dude. I gotta find that. I gotta now. I gotta actually go through his streams and try to find that. Said it was pretty recent.
Maybe, but I think we need to like unite, like together. If we
For VR is we gotta unite together. Yeah, we gotta unite with the gay VR people. I say that because VR is filled with furries. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Wouldn't be surprised if it is in VR. It is. Dude, this is crazy. Dude, there's just some things you just shouldn't admit on live stream. He should have just said long distance relationship. Long distance relationship. But man, the fact that he admitted he's in a VR relationship, like seriously, Batman wouldn't be able to get that information out of me. Seriously. I'd be like, you have to kill me, Batman. I ain't gonna fucking tell you this info. I ain't admitting that. When was he roasted by his dad? His dad gotta be so disappointed in this Degen. Son, 1stAmender, me and your mother, we did not sacrifice coming from Chile into this country just for you to be a degen gay VR tranny dater, okay? He said all this with the conviction and his chest out. Yeah. He's getting his back broken virtually. Yeah, seriously. Yeah. Where is she? Oh, yes, we would like to meet your girlfriend. Well, actually, it's a he. Imagine his parents sacrificed their lives, gave up a lot just to come to this country, right? Only for their son to be a gay VR furry, possibly furry, I should say, person. It's Chilean dad calling him puto. Yes. Dude, I gotta find that video of his dad roasting him.
plan on actually beating Republicans. Um, 1stAmender, did you ever watch all of the Boondocks and the commentary from the writer?
No, I don't. I just assumed that's what Uncle Ruckus was.
I did not watch the commentary from the writer. I don't know if I saw every episode. I saw a lot of episodes. Check Attack MMA says that's gross, not gonna lie. Well, if it makes you feel any better, you don't have to experience any of that. You could just kind of leave me alone about it and just let me live my life. And like it shouldn't be an issue.
This music too. This music's fucking hilarious with what
My
he's
life,
saying.
it makes you feel any better, you don't have to experience any of that. You could just kind of leave. Check Attack MMA says that's gross, not gonna lie. Well, if it makes
That's gross, not gonna lie. Calling out his degen behavior.
you feel any better, you don't have to experience any of that. You could just kind of leave me alone about it and just let me live my life. And like it shouldn't be an issue.
This fucking music, dude. This fucking music goes perfectly what's going on.
Let's see. 50 says that's the question though. He considers uniting to be Democrats.
Chaos Theory. Is there any more to this? Is there any more? There's only like a few minutes left. Is there anything worthwhile hanging around for? Yeah, let me live my life. Shake my damn head. Gay. Yeah. Sounds like gay PP music. Yeah. That's all. Okay. All right. Well, there you there you go. Thank you very much, Chaos Theory, for telling me about that, Cope. That is insane. And the debate was good too. Good job, Martae. Do me a favor, subscribe to Martae, send some support. That guy does need a new microphone, so let's help Martae out. I'm gonna try to look for that dad thing because that is crazy. Yeah. We probably got some more stuff on the screen. I think you'll enjoy and all that stuff.